We're gonna make a burnt honey syrup and throw it into a latte. So we're gonna start by making our burnt honey. Burnt honey became kind of a popular internet thing a couple years ago. So we're gonna load up some honey into this pot. I'm just gonna do a little bit, enough for 2 or 3 lattes. If you're gonna do this, get the nicest honey you can, a local honey. Go to your farmer's market, get a good quality honey, because it's really gonna shine in this scenario. We're gonna throw, oh, it's already on. Look at that. We're gonna throw it on high, I think. We're not plugged in. This ain't gonna work if we ain't plugged in. Just a sec. All right, we're going now. Burnt honey it's really simple. It's not actually burnt. You're really just heating caramel up to a boil, and it's gonna get all kind of roasted, darken those sugars. It's gonna get, nice and toasty, caramely, that kind of vibe. So you're not actually burning it. But it became a popular thing a couple years ago, and I feel like it's just gonna be absolutely delicious in a latte. Is it already boiling? We're just gonna stir this a little bit. I think we're gonna boil it for a couple minutes. You really gotta watch this because it can really get gross real fast. But we do already have some bubbles. I'm like surprised by that. That happened fast. You should kind of also be able to smell it once it's kind of done. It should feel kind of, not nutty. It's not gonna be nutty, caramely. Caramely is the best word. It's gonna be rich, caramely, almost burnt sugar taste, like if you've ever burnt sugar, it's gonna get there. And we're just gonna keep a constant stir on this because otherwise it can get crusted and crystallized, and we want a nice smooth flavor. So you can see it's like really foamy and bubbly. We're just gonna keep this going. It kind of reminds me a little bit of how you make brown butter. It's kind of a similar vibe to that. I think we're close. So I'm gonna give this like another 30 seconds, I think. All right, I think it's good. We're gonna take it off the heat. And while it's off the heat to help cool it down, we're gonna add in some water. We are doing a roughly 1-to-1 syrup ratio, but it's not gonna be exact. Honestly, it doesn't need to be. It's just about getting it to the right dilution so it works well in a latte. So I just kind of did a splash. I would just start with a little bit less and keep adding it in as you need it. If you try and put straight honey into a latte, it's really hard to get it incorporate with the espresso. So that's really all we want to do is dilute it just a little bit, but not too much, but just a little bit so our consistency is right. And it looks a little thin, but by the time it cools down and sets up, it should be the perfect consistency. So you can see it looks liquidy, but it'll set up really well. I'm gonna taste this and try not to burn my finger. I'm also wondering if we want to go, I need a better taste. Trying to decide if I want to go a little further on it. I think I do. All right, I'm gonna kick the heat back on, heat it up a bit more. I want a bit more of that roasted caramel flavor. Burnt honey is a little bit of a trial and error. Once you get it down, you kind of know how much it needs to be in there. Oh yeah, she's bubbling. I'll be straight honest, this is my first time ever making burnt honey. I tried one time before and I absolutely torched the honey and ruined it. So this time is going a lot better, but I still don't quite know what I'm doing, and we're going to figure it out. That's the whole point of this show, is to try new stuff. Just by smell, I think we need a bit more. I'd rather go a little bit too far and have it be a little too caramely and burnt than not, than have it just taste like plain honey, because then what's the point? Ooh, yeah, we're getting there. A little bit more. It's hard with this dumb little electric pot thing too, because it's one temperature. There's no dialing it back. Just kind of is what it is. So okay, that smells good. We might have gone too far, but we'll try that. I'm gonna add a bit more water because I think it probably evaporated off. Oh yeah, that's definitely darker. It smells different now too. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Get that incorporated. That smells a lot better. I'm gonna dare my finger in again. I want to kind of judge by color too, but it's really hard in this black pan. I didn't get a really good taste on that though, so I think that's good. I think we could go a little more, but I'd be a little concerned that would taste too much, too burnt, too I think we would actually burn it if we went any longer. So I think we're gonna call this here. There's a definite noticeable flavor difference though. It definitely tastes darker, richer. It has cooled enough. We'll drain it into our bottle. Looks like the perfect consistency. Didn't yield too much, but it'll be enough for this video, you know? Maybe one more latte. It's got a really good caramel flavor. There's a bit more in there we can get up. It's got a really nice, like, dark, deep flavor. I think it's gonna taste really good in coffee. I could see this being good on so many things. But for us, that thing is a latte, so let's get set up for espresso. All right, we got our puck prepped and ready to pull. And while that pulls, we're gonna measure out our syrup. Usually in a 10-ounce latte, I've found 3/4 ounce is the perfect amount of syrup. Not too sweet, still lets the coffee shine and come through. So measure that out and get that ready for our espresso. We went with a house blend today, just simple, straightforward flavor. Didn't want anything too fruity, too anything. Simple, balanced, right in the middle of the road. So should be delicious. We're not going to add any other flavors to this just so we can try our burnt honey syrup kind of on its own. But I think there's a lot of things you could put in this burnt honey syrup to experiment with. I do measure out my milk because I'm a weirdo, but I want to make sure I'm doing the right amount. And until I have that visually memorized, I'm just going to measure it. So that's 8 ounces for the proper latte. With 2 ounces espresso, it's 10 ounces. That is the proper proportions for a latte, in my opinion. But back to what I was saying, I think there's a lot of things you could put in this honey. I'm not going to talk right now. I long for the days when I'm good at latte art. This machine doesn't help because it kind of sucks. But one of these days, I will have good latte art. I think I actually had a chance with that foam, but we just made a little peace sign symbol. I don't know what that is. All right, let's try our burnt honey latte. I realize I smacked my lips. I'm sorry. I don't really taste the honey. I almost feel like I need a little more. Maybe we'll go for a full ounce this time. Add another 1/4 ounce of syrup in there. The sweetness level's really good, but the flavor's just not coming through. So let's see if adding a little bit more syrup helps our situation. Now my latte art really sucks. This table's a mess too. This is a nightmare of a video. That's sweeter, but I still don't really taste that burnt honey. I wanted it to be like really honey forward. And it just kind of tastes sweet. It's also not super hot. It's my one beef with this machine is it doesn't get things actually hot. I get it a little bit, but not as strong as I wanted. It does kind of just add a subtle, like, caramel, deep, dark flavor to it. But it's also hard to tell if that's the espresso. And I'm almost wondering if it pairs too well, that you don't, like, really notice the honey in there. And maybe I was just expecting it to have too strong of a burnt honey flavor. I mean, I can find it in there if I look, but it's not strong like I wanted. It's kind of sad, because I think the syrup on its own is delicious. But in this latte, it's getting lost. I wouldn't say I hate it, though. It's like almost a preferred way to flavor it. I prefer it over just normal straight honey. I think you could add some flavoring to it. So maybe you treat it more of like a base syrup, and you can add other syrup flavors to it. I think, you know, some vanilla. You could do cinnamon. I don't feel like that's the vibe here. You could do some other, you could even try sage. It'd be a little bit of a, you know, oddball flavor, but I would try it. What do you think some other flavors or ingredients you could put in this syrup to kind of make it pop? Let us know in the comments below. I'm curious to see what your guys' thoughts are. I think there's room for this syrup somewhere and in some way. I think as far as garnishes, you could do a couple different things. You could do a little brittle. I don't know if honey brittle is like a thing, but I'm thinking a little wafer, like a honey wafer or like some sort of sugared brittle. I don't know if that makes sense. I think a little bit of sea salt. I'm honestly a huge proponent of sea salt on top of lattes. It just adds a little bit of it enhances the flavor. And I really should have done that in this. I almost think I should have put some sea salt in the burnt honey to kind of kick that flavor up a little bit. Then it would be a little bit of salted caramel vibes. I think you honestly need to salt most of your simple syrups because it really helps that flavor just kind of jump out instead of just mellow down in this latte. I mean, it's not a bad latte, it just kind of tastes sweet. And I wanted it to have more of a caramel, deep, dark, sugary, caramelized flavor. And it doesn't. That's okay, I'm still gonna drink it. It's still good. I'm gonna go finish this latte. Thanks for joining us. Let us know some other latte ideas you have in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.